Welcome to Whippoorwill Holler. I'm Miss Lori and this is Mr. Brown. We live in the hills of Arkansas. We love the Lord. Keepers of the old way, but accept some of the new. We love to cook and we love to eat. We love to garden. It's in our blood. It's how we stay sustainable and fill our pantry. We do a lot of canning and preserving. We live a sustainable life. We love our family. We work hard. And every once in a while, we like to dance. So y'all join us. You know, tomato gravy is one of them comfort foods down here in the South. And y'all may like it up in the north or on the East Coast or the West Coast, but wherever you live, tomato gravy. I've had quite a few for a while request for me to make tomato gravy. And there are so many different recipes out there for tomato gravy. And people, it's pretty much the same concept, but a lot of people have, inherited different recipes that's been handed down from generation to generation. So it doesn't matter how you make it. Tomato gravy is tomato gravy. You can use canned tomatoes. You can use fresh tomatoes. But like I said, everybody has their own recipe. And I've been asked to make some tomato gravy. Now, in my area making tomato gravy, we usually wait till this time of year when we've got fresh tomatoes, because that's what we use in our tomato gravy, and it's something that we just look forward to. But like I said, you can use canned tomatoes, because that's how a lot of people make their tomato gravy, and I know it's really good. So today we're going to be making tomato gravy, and I'm going to show you how we do it here in my neck of the woods. So we got a few easy ingredients. We got 3 medium tomatoes chopped up. We've got a small onion chopped up. We've got a 1/3 cup of flour and a 1/3 cup of oil of your choice. I've got salt and pepper, and I've got a can of evaporated milk. Now I'm using my leftover grease that I had used because I fried up some steak fingers tonight, and I'm just using some of the oil off of it. You can use whatever oil that you want to use. I'm using a 1/3 cup. You can use bacon grease. You can use butter. So it's a 1/3 cup of oil, and then you need a 1/3 cup of flour. So I'm just going to put my flour in here, just like you're making regular gravy, and we're going to start stirring. And you don't want to leave your stove. You want to just keep stirring it, because you sure don't want this to burn, because if you do, you're going to start all over again. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to keep stirring this, and I want it to get to about to the color of peanut butter. It's going to be like you're making a roux. Well, that's pretty much what we're doing. We're making a roux just like you would if you were making homemade gumbo or something like that. I'm going to put a little bit of black pepper. And we like quite a bit of black pepper in any gravy that we make. Put a little bit of salt. And I made some biscuits, some homemade biscuits. I used my 2-ingredient biscuits that's in my cookbook. I love making them biscuits, especially when it's just me and Mr. Brown, because they're easy. You got 2 ingredients, and they're really, really good. You can see we've gotten to the color of peanut butter. So at this point, I'm going to add my onions. And I'm going to cook this for just a couple minutes till the onions get tender and kind of translucent. It won't take very long. You can see that the flour and the oil, that
it all come together, and it's cooking up really good. And now we're to the point. This is the point, the color that I want it. It's just a little bit darker than peanut butter. So now I'm going to add my 3 medium tomatoes that I chopped up. And if you're using canned tomatoes, this is where you would drain your tomatoes and throw them in here. Now, I'm going to use evaporated milk. You can use regular milk. If you're using canned tomatoes, you can put the juice of the tomatoes in here and then add you some water. I just like using milk because it just makes the gravy a little bit richer. As it cooks, if it starts getting too thick on me, I will add a little bit of water to it, or I can add a little bit of, if I had used canned tomatoes, you could use a little bit of juice out of your canned tomatoes to thin it up a little bit. But I'm just going to stand here. I'm not going to leave it, and I'm just going to keep stirring it. I'm going to watch for the thickness that I like. I don't want to overcook it. I don't like my gravy to be like paste, and I don't like it too thin. And you can see it's already starting to thicken up. And now it's really getting to the consistency that we like. I added me just a little bit more black pepper to it. I always taste stuff when I cook it to see if I need to add any more salt and pepper to it before I take it to the table. You know, tomato gravy is just one of them comfort foods that a lot of us Southerners like to eat. I like it, stuff like this, especially when we got fresh tomatoes coming out of the garden. So I can pretty much turn my heat off because I think I'm there where I need to be, the thickness that I want. It's looking pretty good, and it's smelling really good in here. My biscuits are done. So all we got to do is plate it up and get ready to eat. Now I did make some steak fingers for supper tonight, and I even videoed that, so that'll be a little video. You can see the thickness. I wanted to get up here where y'all could see how thick it was. And that's the way we like it. So let's make us a plate. My biscuits are still hot, really hot. But we're going to get one. We're going to plate it up. I'm just going to cut it in half. You can see the steam coming off of it. It's still real hot. And they're just as tender and soft. It's one of my favorite biscuit recipes. I'm going to put me a pat of butter on each biscuit. And when you pour the tomato gravy over it, it's going to melt that butter down on that biscuit. So let's just spoon our gravy over our biscuits. Get you some tomatoes on there. So guys, this is how, in my neck of the woods, this is how we make our tomato gravy. It's thick, it's rich. It's got a really good taste to it. It's delicious. So guys, I hope you like this video. I hope you like this recipe. I know a lot of y'all been asking me for my recipe for tomato gravy. And here it is. So if you like it, give me a thumbs up. We love you guys, and God bless.